Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at the 2014 Next Generation Leaders Graduation Ceremony. My name is Mallory Mullen, and I'm the events coordinator of the McCain Institute, and I'd like to welcome you this evening. To kick off our program, I'd like to welcome to the stage Executive Director, Ambassador Kurt Volker.
Thank you, Mallory, and thank all of you for coming here. It is a very nice thing to do to congratulate people and to recognize what they have done. And so you're taking the time to do this is something we truly appreciate. So thank you for coming. The McCain Institute, as I'm sure all of you know since you're already here, was established with a guiding vision, thanks to Mrs. Cindy McCain and Senator McCain and Arizona State University, to promote character-driven leadership. What are core issues, core values, what defines character, and how can we contribute to supporting emerging character-driven leaders around the world and empowering them in bringing about positive change in whatever it is they do. That was a guiding vision. We didn't know quite how to go about making that into an action. How do you make that a reality? But we embarked on this as our first task in setting up the McCain Institute and established our Next Generation Leaders program. And with the Next Generation Leaders, we look to find emerging character-driven leaders from around the world or the United States who are already successful mid-career professionals who we believe have the potential to do even more. And we want to give them an opportunity to develop professionally and personally by challenging themselves. And we invite them to spend a year in the United States, or if they're American, to move around somewhere else, to work in their field or a different field, to explore their own commitment to service, to character, to values, to leadership. We bring them together 4 times a year for training in those areas as well: ethics, values, leadership, media, communications. We give them exposure to senior leaders in the fields of politics, business, government, civil society, and we work with them on individual leadership action plans. And this is the critical part, because as much as it is a benefit to all of these next generation leaders to spend a year somewhere in the United States developing personally and professionally, the critical contribution of this program is what those people then go on to do. And so we work with them on individual leadership action plans to try to make them as realistic and implementable as possible when they return to their home environments. And then we keep our next generation leaders connected to each other and to subsequent years, subsequent classes, through online networking and through being in communication, so that we hope over time to have built a very powerful network of McCain Institute Next Generation leaders who are really bringing about positive change in the world. So that's the nature of this program. We are very proud of the class that's graduating today. It's the second class that we've had. We have our third class arriving next Friday, so we are keeping the process moving here. And we have only the highest expectations for what this remarkable group of people will be coming on to achieve. With that, I want to thank you again for coming, and I'd like to introduce next a friend and a colleague, someone who has taken this idea of a Next Generation Leaders program and turned it into the program that it is, and that is Ambassador Mike Polt. Mike was a U.S. ambassador to Serbia, to Estonia. He retired from the Foreign Service in order to launch the Next Generation Leaders program here at the Institute. And what you're seeing today is really a fruit of his efforts, together with those of Lieutenant General Ben Frakely, who is an advisor for Arizona State University on leadership issues, works also with us at the McCain Institute on leadership. So Mike has also worked with Ben to develop this program into all of the different pieces that we have now. And he's here, and let me bring him to the podium. So Mike, I'm going to hand it over to you. Thank you.
Well, good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by calling in the reason we're here, the NGLs, the Next Generation Leaders of the 2014 class. Please, come on in. And of course, Lieutenant General Ben Franklin, please, please, sir, take your seat. Welcome to our next launch of the Next Generation Leaders Group here at the McCain Institute. First of all, congratulations to all the NGLs for so successfully walking your leadership walk with us this past year. From Bhutan to Jordan, and from Russia to Canada, and many places in between, you have dedicated yourselves to character-driven leadership, guided by the values that have animated the careers of Senator and Mrs. McCain and the McCain family over generations. We are tremendously proud of you. We have spent an intense and exciting year together, and I wish to thank our amazing Next Generation Leaders team that has made all of this possible. My partner, Lieutenant General Ben Franklin, who lends his vast experience and record as a top leader in our country's armed forces to make our program such a success. Our program manager, Garrett Shorey, and our program coordinator, Rachel Spera, and our new program assistant, Caitlin Batty. All of these three are leaders in their own right, and they are the creative engine of our program. I thank you all very much. The man who never takes any credit for himself, Ambassador Kurt Volker, the leader of our institute, whose exceptional leadership of our organization has made all of our programs successful, and this one in particular, and we're very grateful to him. We also have to thank this year's placement hosts. They're wonderful organizations and individuals, many of whom are represented here tonight, who have hosted our NGLs throughout the program year for a critical element of the overall program, leading to professional capacity building. Start with Amnesty International, the Boys and Girls Club of America, Cure Violence, the Foreign Policy Democracy Lab, Freeport-McMoran, Human Rights First, Libra Group, the Lugar Series and Hathaway Strategies, the National Youth Leadership Council that has so wonderfully hosted in one of the warmest places in America to our Jordanian NGL, who's loved it there. He's looking for introducing ways of bringing cold air to Jordan as we speak. The Office of the Mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, that has hosted Sonam Topgai from Bhutan, and the Smithsonian Institution, which has hosted Umar Kubar from Estonia, and Weber Shandvik in Boston. We also have to thank this year's generous sponsors, whose dedication to character-driven leadership is helping to create a new generation of global leaders. Freeport-McMoran, the Arizona Public Service Foundation, Libra Group, the Star Foundation, Chevron, the BGR Foundation, and Meg Energy. All of our hosts and sponsors have played a major role in enabling our NGLs to become critical change agents as they return to their home environments. And next week, it begins. We very much look forward to awarding you your leadership certificates tonight. And with that, I have the great pleasure of introducing one of the key elements of making our program a success, the McCain family, represented by Mrs. Cindy McCain here this evening. Mrs. McCain has accompanied the NGL group throughout the program year. She's braved the high temperatures in New York in January to meet with them. She has graciously received them in Arizona, including a wonderful event we had together with her before the Sedona Forum started. And we've had the benefit of her guidance, and her interaction with the group has made a real difference in the development of their leadership action plans, and to see how leaders in this country succeed as an example and a model in Mrs. McCain. With that, I would love to turn over the floor to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for being here today. It's a very important evening, not only for the Institute, but most importantly, of course, for our NGLs. My husband and I believe a great deal in service to our country, in leadership, in fresh leadership, young leadership. It's not about agreeing on positions, it's about leading with confidence and with dignity and with the kind of courage that it takes in a world like we have right now. My husband's been very vocal about what he believes the path should be for the world, and that's, of course, a peaceful path, but a prosperous path. And the only way we can do that is by inspiring young people, by giving young people the ability to not only learn and go their own way, but make this world a better place. And that's really what this is all about. So from my husband, I'd like to congratulate all of you, and we'll be visiting you. I've already promised some of you that I'm going to come, and I know my husband's already been to a few of them. But most importantly, I'd like to say when you leave here, I hope that you take with you the knowledge and knowing that we not only believe in what you are doing, but what you will do. We believe in the strength and the incredible courage that young people have. And so as you proceed on in your endeavors, be it a nonprofit endeavor or be it a business endeavor, whatever it may be, we look forward to seeing you when you're in a little more middle age, because then we can see what you have actually done. It's been a unique opportunity to get to know all of you and to call you our friends, and most importantly, be able to watch you as you proceed on from here. It's our honor to be able to call you an NGL, and I hope it's your honor to have been with us here at the McCain Institute. It means a great deal to us. So I hope that as these years progress, that you take with us the knowledge that in my husband you have someone that truly believes in what you do, me as well, but you have someone that truly believes in what you do and believes in what we can do together. So thank you, and good luck, and I hope I see you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will now announce each Next Generation leader in turn, cite his or her leadership action plan, and then ask each to join Ambassador Pult and General Frakley to receive leadership certificates. Mohammed Hussein Al-Tarane of the Kingdom of Jordan. Address youth challenges to provide a platform for Jordanians and the refugee community to achieve harmony, unity, and prosperity. Veljko Chulovic of Serbia. Develop a sustainable, modern mining industry in Serbia to advance economic growth and accelerate the country's EU integration path. Irina Godeshan of the Republic of Moldova. Develop a new political culture in Moldova by educating and training young people in democratic leadership skills. Dmytro Kovalchuk of Ukraine. Make Ukraine prosperous and energy independent by creating a new relationship between business and the communities it serves. Urmo Kubar of Estonia. Create a venture philanthropy foundation. Encourage individual giving and support nonprofits in their social impact. Siham Jabeli of the Kurdistan Regional Government of Iraq. Empower women in all sectors of society to contribute to the development of new social norms of justice and equality. Sahana Mishra of India. Empower rural women economically, politically, and socially to transform India. Berivan Orçoglu of Turkey. Contribute to freedom of speech in Turkey with a bilingual digital news network combining citizen and traditional journalism. Michael Petrick of Canada. make Canada and its allies more prosperous and secure by identifying the positive global impact of Canadian energy. Konstantin Bobkov of Russia. Train and educate a new generation of character-driven and innovative leaders as a key building block for a progressive democratic culture in Russia. Sonam Tabge of the Kingdom of Bhutan. Contribute to the building of a vibrant democracy that strengthens good governance, enhances well-being, and increases economic prosperity. And Christina Williams of the United States of America. Empower youth with the tools to understand and assert their rights. And now I'd like to welcome to the stage Konstantin Bobkov of Russia, who will be speaking on behalf of the 2014 NGL Cohort.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming to this graduation ceremony. It is my honor and privilege to represent the greatest young and powerful leaders who graduate today, the cohort of 2014. And as we stand here today, we can say that this is the most joyful, happy and proud moment for all of us, and I believe for all of you. And I want to thank the leadership of the McCain Institute for making this program happen for us. As we look back on the past year, it seems like it was just yesterday when we all came to DC. We were so anxious and so happy to see each other, so curious as to what to expect, and it was just like a flash of a lightning. And now we're here, and the program is coming to an end, and we just don't want to say goodbye. But on the other hand, we cannot really be happy, and we cannot really be joyful, and we cannot really be proud, because we know that the world today is in the most critical situation. And probably this is the darkest hour of human history since the World War II. But just as the darkest hour of the night is the time when the dawn is just about to break, so I believe that today's crisis is the time when the new breed, a new type of ethical and character-driven leaders is just about to emerge. And I'm sure that this is the new generation, the next generation leaders that are being trained at the McCain Institute. And here we are, the graduates of this program. So believe me, these 12 insanely great mid-career professionals from different walks of life and different industries, ranging from energy, mining, leadership education, NGOs, politics, and whatnot. These people who went through rigorous training at placements that were so well selected for each one of us, and especially for me. These people are capable of changing the world and making this world a much better place than it is today. And as we come to a closing of this program, so for us, this is not the end, but the beginning. And as we take on the mantle of character-driven leadership today, so we believe that this is the commencement of the positive changes that will be taking place in our nations. But I want to ask all of you to join the next generation leaders and to be the spark and be the change and be the force for positive development in our nations and in the world. Let's all of us be in it to win it. And for the closing remarks, let me welcome the General Frickley. Thank you very much.
I think we just had closing remarks. Well, for a little kid from Russia that couldn't speak English, hadn't he come a long way? Believe me, he could speak English, and he's not a little kid. Well, Mrs. McCain, Ambassador Volker, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, our next generation leaders. This program is about impact. Like the McCain Institute, not a think tank, but a do tank, an action-oriented institute, the Next Generation Leadership Program is focused on action. So it is not so much about the year with us, but about the new beginning, starting with tonight's ceremony, where our leaders depart to serve. We're so grateful to Senator McCain and Mrs. McCain for their example of selfless service and unwavering support to worldwide leadership and our Next Generation program, and to Ambassador Polt. As he has mentioned, we are thankful to so many people and organizations that have made our program possible, including Arizona State University. My personal thanks to Ambassador Mike Polt for his leadership and example, outstanding direction of our program, and just making year after year the Institute a great place to serve and to have fun. To our Next Generation leaders, congratulations on completing the Next Generation Leaders program. The easy part is over. We've endeavored this year to be effective with your leadership development by impressing upon you the ideas and concepts associated with values, ethics, and leadership. All focused on you continuing to be character-driven leaders who implement your leadership action plans. On behalf of the Institute, I charge you to go forward from this place, living a life of selfless service. Be the character-driven leader that we all aspire to become. Make a difference in your country, for your people, with your leadership action plans. Make an impact. Tonight, our hopes and dreams and aspirations are pinned to each of you as you return home to lead. Several years ago, when the McCain Institute was being envisioned, Senator McCain stated, and I quote, "One of my hopes is that one of the people who is involved in the McCain Institute would assume a position of great leadership later on in this century." That vision is closer to reality tonight, and the potential for that leader rests within the 22 Next Generation leaders who have graduated from our program. We're tracking you. We're not the NSA, we're the McCain Institute, but we're tracking you, and we have great expectations that the impact that you'll have as leaders at home and in your communities. Ladies and gentlemen, this completes our program tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'd ask you to join us right outside these doors for the reception, but more importantly, to congratulate tomorrow's leaders, our Next Generation leaders. Thank you so much.